BIM is only a process that you follow. It is not a software, it is not a program, or it is not an application by itself. It is a process that you follow for better efficiencies at different stages of the building. Without BIM, what happens is that the architects will have their own set of drawings, the engineers will have their own set of drawings, and the contractors will have their own set of drawings. Now mostly, and 90% these drawings are all same. There is no doubt about it. But there are differences, there are revisions, and all these revisions are not being incorporated into one another's drawings, and this is where the problem comes. So if you see the life of the building is, say for example 50 years, every stakeholder other than facility management will be utilizing BIM, say within first 2 years, 1 year or 2 years, because it doesn't take more than that for a building from concept till completion. So maximum 2 years, everyone, all stakeholders, that is the designer, the architects, the engineers, the project management, everyone is done with BIM, and then they give the building to facility management, who will utilize it for rest of the 48 years with the BIM technology. So if the structural drawing is updated, even the electrical, the air conditioning, all other drawings automatically in that portion gets updated with this kind of information or this revision. So this makes it sure that no one is following any outdated drawings. So everyone has the same set of updated drawing on a real-time basis. This is the beauty of BIM. Now the architectural drawing, the engineering drawing, and the construction drawing, all these three drawings are superimposed on one another to make the central thing. So you will have, like for example, water line is there is a sewage line, there are air conditioning lines. If there is a chiller, then chilled water lines. Then there are electrical cables, there are control cables, there are IT, the data cables are going. Now all these are having separate routes for them. I mean, they cannot be mixed together. I mean, otherwise there will be something like electronic interference. So this software, the BIM, has got an excellent feature which will immediately find out whether there is any clash between the two systems. And once it is confirmed there is nothing, then there will be nothing. I mean, there is no surprise waiting in the site for you, when you go there and find something not coming or something coming in the obstruction. For example, if you have constructed half a wall, and then the AC guy comes and says, sorry, you can't complete the wall here because I have got, the AC ducts are running here. Then what will you do? That means it's a rework. There is a delay, there is additional cost. Because you have already constructed some part of it, now you have to demolish, you have to make a workaround. And this happens, by the way. I believe this happens in almost all the projects. And that is the purpose the BIM has got so much of acceptability and benefits of it, that such clashes can be avoided and the risk can be mitigated. Normally the facility management team always has a grudge against the project management team. They say that these people do not hand over the project in the right way. Now when you say right way, what exactly? Now there is a big handover checklist, by the way. When you hand over a project, it is not that you take the building, sign a paper to say the building is handed over. No. It comes with so many documentation, because it is like handing over your child. Because from next day onward, it becomes that person's responsibility. Then he has to scratch his head for any kind of problem that is there. Now that becomes very simple with the BIM process. Because in BIM, all this documentation at different stages by the different stakeholders are already uploaded into the centralized system, the diagram or the drawing or whatever you call the software, so that the facility management team need not really look around for it. When they want for particular for that FCU, if there is a problem and they want to find out, they can go to that FCU, click on that, they will get what is the airflow from that, what is the motor size, and how much it is supposed to be, what is the current carrying capacity of that wire which is there, who is the vendor, and all these things. Now with this, you will come to know with BIM very properly that my plan for this week is to do 1, 2, 3, 4 this portion. Now for this portion, as the drawings are accurate, this system will calculate how much material is required. So this is no more assumptions and kind of estimations. This is the biggest benefit. So you are going to zeroing down. You are properly having accurate information of all the activities, and here you will know quantity takeoff and the material estimation. So how much material is required and what is the quantity to be taken. Now what happens is that when you have this kind of 3-4 alternatives of doing one thing, then you can have a value engineering analysis with BIM. That means you enter into the BIM only that I want to make this particular section with this material, and it will tell you the cost, because it has got the proper dimensions and all, it will calculate. And then if you use say okay, remove this and I want to put this material. So this will help you, and you can project it, then give a presentation to the management to say that there are currently 4 proposals or 4 options of doing this work, and these are the costs associated with that. You do something, and by the time it is happening on the ground, the management, there is a directive to say, no, change it. There is a variation here, or the variation term is used, where you say earlier I said this, but then it has been now to be done like this, and it happens. Now what happens for that? How the invoices are created for that? How the bills are passed? This is all by the cooperation and understanding and kind of estimation part of it. But now it is no more like this. With BIM, you can say, okay, you have done X. For X, this is the amount you have spent. Now you are asking us to, we are asking you to remove X and do something Y. For Y, this is the cost. And for removing X, this is the cost. Very clear. A, B and C cost are very clear. So there is no kind of bargaining. There is no one is doing anyone favor. Because when there is a rework, it is always some kind of an understanding, adjustment, and both the sides will appear as if they are doing a favor for the other person. Now, a properly implemented commissioned BIM will help the facility management team to know that they have got currently 6 chillers in the building, and out of these 6 chillers, maybe 4 chillers are bought from this vendor, the 2 are from here, these 2 are special chillers, the life of these chillers is maybe 15 years, this chiller's life is 12 years, or this elevator is there like this fire system is here, its life is 8 years, and then they can do capital planning, they can do life cycle planning. So with this kind of information, you can then propose to the management to say that these equipments, their life on paper is over. That means the book value becomes 0 or 1. In accounting process, in accounting there is a depreciation for every capital asset, and after that depreciation, once everything is over, it becomes book value. Some people keep 0, some people keep as 1 rupee as a nominal. So you can then, the facility management team can say, by this equipment is life is over, however I will run it because it is good. I am not asking you to replace. But if it suddenly breaks down during half of the year, middle of the year, and I am required to replace it, don't ask questions to me that why I didn't budget. Because if you are going to ask me that question, now I am going to budget for it right now. I will say the life is over, see, and you can change it. But I want to save money for the company, I am not spending it, under the agreement that if it required, then you need to pay for me for it. The facility management team has got an ongoing responsibility to feed the data into the BIM so that the future generations of facility managers can benefit from this BIM. Otherwise it is gone. So everyone has to continuously keep updating the data on a real-time basis, and that becomes helpful to track the assets and to identify them. BIM's objective is different. IoT objective is different. Building automation system objective is different. All these systems can be combined together to make BIM even more powerful. Again, when I say BIM is nothing. BIM is only a digital drawing which is used by the people to call it as a BIM project. But then with BIM, there is no more assumption, no more guessworks and estimation and all that. You can properly say, okay, you want 20 desks, each desk size is this much. If I fit this desk here like this, then the space for walk around will be only 1.5 feet. So, or maybe 1 feet. This is not viable. So then make only say 15 desks. If you make 15 desks, what will happen? This is the area I am having, this is sufficient. Fine. For this, without BIM, you will still take a decision. Without BIM, it is not that you will be suddenly stuck, because BIM is invented now, but before BIM, the world has run also, right? World has been successfully running so far. So it is not that without BIM suddenly you will be stuck and you will be lost and all. No, it is not like that. Only thing is that with BIM, you will be decision making will become easier, faster, more accurate and reliable. So space utilization analytics, you can also say that this section, what is the utilization space, who is utilizing more space, who is utilizing less, per person how much it is there, per floor, this kind of information. Still you can get information currently, but you get it from a drawing. Some drawings you will have, some drawings you will not have. Some drawings are revised and updated. Some places the layout has been changed, but it is not updated with you, right? These are all common things which happen everywhere. But with a BIM, and that is why the responsibility is with everyone to keep the drawing updated. Rather, nothing has to happen on the site unless it is updated in the drawing. So every instruction, every direction for any change should come from the central drawing only. And then only it will be assumed. You don't enter into the, like anyone cannot feed the data into the BIM. Only the approved people should keep it, and that should be cascaded to everyone else. The BIM, the system will tell you whether having 4 split ACs, how much energy they are going to consume over the period of their life, and if you have one VRF system, how much energy it is going to consume for its life, and then give you a report so that you can take that as one of the factors for consideration when you make a decision, because occupancy pattern is never constant. Your occupancy of a building is depending on the demand, I mean the main core business. And if the core business objectives change, then the operating pattern and occupancy pattern also change. So the company may increase the staff, may decrease the staff, maybe move them to some other sites. So once these dynamically dependent things happen, this will help you in making building system optimization, is to make the equipments optimized to the current usage pattern. So now let us take one or two examples. Now if there is a leakage in one of the washrooms, right? If there is a leakage from the wall, or if at the bottom, the near the floor, 1 foot or 2 feet from the floor, you see a lot of damp. This happens when the water is seeping into the wall. Then the paint will come out, and there will be a lot of the bulging of the paint, and this kind of problem will be there. Now that has to be rectified. How do you rectify that? Now what you have to do is you have to chip open, find out from the pipeline the water. It is obvious that one of the water pipeline is leaking, right? Now currently, in absence of any accurate drawing, you could still have drawing. The drawing could be revised. So this is maybe the possibilities. So what you have to do, you could keep on chipping and into the wall, and then you find that there is no pipeline there, or maybe you will hit one electrical wire which is going from there, and there will be a short circuit somewhere. Instead of that, what you do is, now when there is a BIM, you know accurately how the pipe is going from the wall 6 feet, and from the ground maybe it is just 3 feet and 6 feet. You exactly make a 2 inches kind of hole there, and you will see the pipe, the bend there, and that bend will be having, that elbow will be having a leakage there. Now is it not easy? It is not an efficient way of doing a maintenance practice, and that will help you to do proper maintenance. Now this is not just proper maintenance, this is having indirect, intangible benefits. That is, it is saving your time first of all, because otherwise you will be employing that plumber and damaging the whole wall for a longer period. Then the cost will also increase. The plumber's cost will be anyway there, but the repair, the patching up of the wall for a longer, maybe 2, 3, 4 meters or 5 meters, that is again cost. The time is gone, inconvenience will be there to the various occupants of the building, and there will be customer dissatisfaction because of that. So these are all the intangible costs associated with inaccurate or inefficient kind of management without BIM. Once you have a proper BIM, you know what it is. Once the office hours are over or on a weekend, simply open that particular portion, maybe just another 6 inches here, 6 inches there, get the access, change whatever part is required, close it and finish it off. Within 2 hours or 4 hours, the job is done. So this is a better job, this is an efficient job. This is the benefit of the having BIM. How AI and ML will help in predictive maintenance is by keeping a track of the performance, various parameters, which is current, pressure, temperature, and all these things, and sensing. Artificial intelligence is dumb, by the way. It is not intelligence, it is dumb. It is based only on the past data, that's it. And predicting from based on the data. So, it will predict to say, okay, last time something similar happened and it failed. So now if something is happening, be careful. This is what AI and ML does. Now scan to BIM is that even though the project is completely done, it is operational project, they want to get the benefit of the BIM. So what they do is that they scan the entire building and create a 3D model and use it for the facility management. As simple as that. That means, because during the construction stage, as we said, in the first 2 years of the building, the real benefit will come for the designer, constructor, architect, consultant, everyone, engineers and all that. However, for a building which is already in operation, if they want to use the BIM, what it means that the building already construction is done, there is nothing in that. However, what they do is that they will scan the building. Scan is a digital scanning, there is a process for that, and they will make a 3D virtual model of that, and they will feed all the information into that, assuming like from the beginning stage the BIM is there, and now hereafter they will make, the benefit will be only for the facility management team. So that means BIM, not necessary that you have to have from the beginning, ideally it should be. But for these structures, which are the best structures in the world, and they are operating with the BIM, so that means they have realized that having BIM at any stage is beneficial for maintenance, only for maintenance, because there is no construction, there is no design. Yes, there will be benefit from the rework, any modification, any alteration, any modification to the existing structure, then the BIM will be useful again. But that is if and when. But otherwise, by default, the benefit will go to all the facility management team. And this is what they have utilized it. That what is the difference between BIM and digital twin? Because BIM is also a 3D model, Digital twin also is a 3D model. So is there any difference between them? Now the BIM, it is mainly intended for design and construction, whereas a digital twin is mainly intended for operation and maintenance. The second point is that it is about the building and the equipment. BIM is more about building and equipment, whereas digital twin is about the people and their safety and comfort. So in other words, BIM is about the past, whereas digital twin is about the future. BIM on an overall scale, if you see, it is more of sorting, storing, collecting data in one central place for usage at all the time. That is the emphasis. Whereas digital twin, the emphasis is on being real time. The last difference is that BIM doesn't need a digital twin, whereas digital twin cannot exist without a BIM. When you have a BIM project, when all the stakeholders are collecting and accumulating and putting information into that, it has to be ensured that they use the same nomenclature. Now, those of you who have worked in ERP and migration of system one from one to another, you will know that, and even in Excel sheet, when you have an Excel sheet also, sometimes when you are sorting out, even a small difference in the description can make it look like two different items. So for example, if it's a 2-inch wall or 2-inch gate wall, now 2-inch gate wall can be written in several ways, 5-6 ways. One of them can be 2 and having those 2 lines above that and then gate wall. Somebody else may write 2-INCH gate wall. Somebody may say 2 without space INCH gate wall. For a system, these are all different things. They are not the same. And then gate wall can be G capital, can be small, can be there. Gate wall can be one word, can be different word. So the challenge for using BIM is that the consultant, the engineer, architect, designer and everyone, they should use the same nomenclature. If they use different, then the system will be confused and the system will treat like these are 2 or 3 different items, and that confusion will be apparent there. It might result in some kind of errors as well. If the authority, if the rights of amending the data, altering the data, changing the data, adding the data in BIM is given to any unauthorized person, he can create a havoc with the system. He can create big problems, lifelong problems for the system. So honestly speaking, very frankly speaking, BIM is yet to really take off in India. This is the fact that BIM is a desirable thing. It is not essential. I mean, without BIM, companies are happily running. There is no problem as such. But the difference is that companies who want to excel, for them, BIM will help them in excelling. This is the difference. So if you really say, and a die-hard finance man, if the finance man says, that, okay, tell me what are the benefits of BIM, or Murali asked me the question. Now I am coming towards the end of the presentation, maybe another 3-4 slides. So if I have to say, answer, what are the cost and benefits of BIM, then I can only say that the cost is definitely, yes, high, no doubt about it. And the benefits, you will not immediately realize all the benefits. This is a good to have project. It is only essential in case you want to excel. Otherwise, if you ask in a normal common reference kind of thing, say BIM is fine, okay, it's a good to have, it's a desirable, it's a tool of excelling. You excel in the tool. So cost benefit is not really very, very attractive for BIM. This is the plain answer. We get the benefits. We get the benefits in terms of what? Improved efficiency, improved accuracy. These are all intangible benefits. Intangible benefits like, without this you could have made errors. Without this there could have been delays. Without this there could have been some mistakes. Could have been. And with this you don't make it. So those who want to excel, BIM is for them. Those who want to live happily ordinary life, BIM is not for them.